Hey Leap Inspire family, have you ever faced a moment where the weight of a single choice could rewrite your entire life, where love, betrayal, and sacrifice collide to challenge everything you believe in? Get ready, because Chapter 7 of our story is an emotional odyssey that'll grab your heart and hold you captive until the very last word. Don't skip a second, because this tale of broken dreams, relentless hope, and a father's fierce love for his son will ignite your soul and inspire you to keep fighting, no matter the odds. Anna stood frozen in Rudra's elegant study, the soft pastel walls and neatly arranged bookshelves mocking the storm raging in her chest as his words echoed. "Would you let me rent your womb for 9 months for her sake?" The polished wooden desk, the plush chairs, the orderly files, all symbols of Rudra's control, felt suffocating under the weight of his request. Just hours ago, he'd unraveled his past, peeling back the layers of a man hardened by betrayal. 13 years ago, at 20, Rudra was a firebrand, a young man with callous hands and blazing ambition, determined to escape the shadow of his father's drunken rages. His childhood was a battlefield, his father's fists bruising his mother's fragile frame, his slurred curses drowning out hope. Rudra vowed to rewrite that story. He poured his soul into a textile startup, studying by day, working through moonlit nights, fueled by a professor's loan and a hunger to give his mother peace. By 27, his company was a titan in the city's industry, its success a beacon of his defiance. But wealth couldn't fill the ache in his heart. He craved love, a soulmate to share his victories. At a glittering party, he saw her. A woman with eyes like Anna's, large, magnetic, brimming with innocence that stopped time. He called her Bambi, a name that now cut like glass when Rav whispered it to Anna. They danced under chandeliers, her laughter weaving into his dreams. They shared stories over dinner, her warmth making him believe in forever. When she vanished after that night, his heart sank, only to soar when she appeared in his office for a job interview. Smitten, he hired her instantly, no questions, no checks. Their friendship bloomed like a summer dawn, endless talks, skipped meetings, walks through parks, and late-night movie marathons. Rudra reshaped himself for her, trading his simple shirts for tailored suits, his spicy street food for her refined tastes. After a year, he proposed in a garden of mirrors, each reflecting her red frock, her smile his entire world. She said yes, and his mother welcomed her like a daughter, cooking her favorite dishes, shopping for silks, weaving her into their small family. The wedding was a dream, her red lehenga glowing, gold jewelry catching the light, the priest's chant sealing their bond. But that first night cracked the illusion. She wasn't a virgin. Rudra, inexperienced and trusting, accepted her tale of an athletic past, silencing the sting in his chest. Yet, the marriage crumbled fast. She grew cold, avoiding his touch, sleeping before he returned home, her laughter replaced by silence. 2 months in, she demanded 50% of his company, claiming she deserved it for giving herself to him. Bewildered, Rudra nearly signed the shares over, stopped only by his partner Tanny's warning. "You built this with your blood." Her fury erupted, vases shattered, her warmth turned to venom. When she became pregnant, she wanted an abortion, unwilling to let motherhood mar her body. Rudra, heartbroken, agreed to spare her distress, but a business trip delayed the procedure, and by his return, it was too late. She issued an ultimatum: the child for 30% of his shares. Desperate for his son, he complied, hoping fatherhood would mend their fractured bond. For 6 months, his mother pampered her, treating her like royalty, but her cruelty grew. She threw plates, insulted his mother, vanished without explanation, snapping about freedom when questioned. Rudra endured, his love blinding him, until the day Arav was born. Rushing to the hospital, he found her gone, leaving only a note. Do not try to find me. Arav, tiny and wailing, was his only solace. The truth emerged later. She was a pawn in her boyfriend's game, a rival from Rudra's school days who despised his success. This man, seething over Rudra's academic triumphs and a lost crush, sent her to seduce him, infiltrate his company, and ruin him. She played her role perfectly, marrying him to secure his wealth, then fleeing with the shares, sold to Akshat Jindal, who later claimed to save Rudra's company. The betrayal shattered Rudra's empire, drove his mother to a heart attack, and pushed him into alcohol and fleeting flings. He built walls around his heart, vowing never to trust again. Anna's eyes, so like hers, made her a living reminder of that pain, fueling his coldness toward her. Yet, Arav's rare disease forced Rudra to confront his past. For a bone marrow transplant, he tracked down his ex-wife, now a pale shadow of her former self, living with her smug husband. Swallowing his pride, Rudra offered 50 lakh rupees, but they demanded his Mumbai hotel, the jewel of his rebuilt empire, worth crores. For Arav, he agreed, trading his legacy for his son's life. Back in the study, Anna's mind reeled. Rudra's request wasn't about desire. It was a desperate plea to save Arav, whose condition demanded a sibling donor. Her heart ached for the boy, his laughter ringing from their backyard cricket game, where she'd swung the bat with defiance, proving to Rudra that girls could outshine anyone. She remembered Arav hiding behind her, clutching her stole, refusing medicine until she bribed him with chocolates, his tiny kiss on her cheek melting her defenses. Those moments had softened her, revealing Rudra's love for his son, a love that pierced his hardened shell. But his past didn't excuse his cruelty, his misogynistic jabs, his cold commands, the way he'd once tried to use her to purge his pain. Anna carried her own scars, escaping a brothel, defying an uncle who crushed her cricket dreams because she was a girl. She fought to be more than a victim, rising as a state-level athlete before her world was stolen. Now, Rudra asked her to carry his child, to bind herself to his broken world. Her hands trembled as she gripped the coffee mug, the study's calm decor mocking the chaos within. She thought of Kiera, her friend soon leaving for her honeymoon, the only one who made this mansion bearable. She recalled the rude woman who'd struck her of Rudra's fury as he banished her, and the mystery of her role, perhaps tied to Jindal or the hotel deal. Questions burned, but Arav's frail form anchored her. Could she say no to saving him? Rudra's eyes, raw with vulnerability, locked onto hers. You said you'd do anything for him. He pressed, voice steady but laced with pain. Anna's throat tightened. She saw Arav's smile, his tiny hand in hers, his trust when he called her Bambi. She thought of her own fight for freedom, the strength it took to survive. Could she lend that strength to Arav, even if it meant sacrificing part of herself? The silence stretched, heavy with fear and resolve. Anna's mind raced through Rudra's story, his rise from a boy escaping abuse to a man betrayed by love, his empire reduced to a bargaining chip. She saw his pain in every clenched fist, every bitter word, yet also his tenderness with Arav, his rare smile in the backyard. Her own past echoed his, fighting against those who defined her worth. She'd once captained her school's cricket team, her dreams crushed by a society that saw her as less. Now, another crossroads loomed, her choice bigger than herself. She thought of the backyard, Arav's laughter, Rudra's smile when she beat him at cricket, her defiance proving her strength. She remembered Arav's tantrum over medicine, how she'd melted the tablet in water, coaxing him with chocolates, his hug a warmth she hadn't known she needed. She thought of Rudra's rare softness, the moment their hands touched over Arav's sleeping form, a subtle electricity passing between them. Was it real, or her imagination? She recalled the kitchen, baking cookies for Arav, Rudra's warmth behind her, his hand brushing her waist, his quiet offer to back off. She hadn't pulled away, drawn to a gentleness she hadn't expected. In the study, the weight of his request pressed harder. Anna set the mug down, her hand steadying. "If I do this," she whispered, voice firm, "it's for Arav, not you." Rudra nodded, his jaw tight, but his eyes softer than ever. "That's all I ask." Anna stood, legs shaky but resolve firm. As she left the study, her heart pounded with fear, hope, and something unspoken, a possibility that this act could heal more than Arav. She returned to the kitchen, the scent of cookies grounding her. Arav's laughter echoed in her mind, Rudra's smile lingered, and for the first time, she wasn't afraid to face what came next. She thought of her own journey, the brothel's darkness, the cricket field where she'd once shone. She'd fought for herself then. Now, she'd fight for Arav, and maybe, just maybe, for a future where broken hearts could mend. As she prepared another tray of coffee, Rudra's voice called her name, softer this time, and she knew, whatever came next, she was ready to leap.